Thanks, Josh. Great to see you again. I'm assuming you guys can hear me and see both me and Bill Welch from Phillips-Medisize. So it's a real pleasure to be with you all today. Of course, as everyone feels, wish it were in person, but this is what we're doing, so we're going to do it as well as we can. Bill and I are going to talk to you a little bit about the recent news that we announced, which is about the collaboration between Credence and Phillips-Medisize for the scaling of our Credence companion and dual chamber products. So before we get too far into that, we'll just do really quick intros. There we go. Now it seems to be working. So you see these two handsome gentlemen right here, but I'll do a very quick intro. John Merhige with Credence since we founded it in 2013. Chief Commercial Officer, got a background in engineering and in business. Bill?
Bill Welch, Chief Technology Officer at Phillips-Medisize, a Molex company, and been with the company for about 20 years.
Thanks, Bill. It's a pleasure to be doing this with you. Thanks so much for agreeing to do it. All right, let's jump in, everyone, and obviously send some chat questions through if you have any. We'll do some quick introductions. First of Credence, we're located in the heart of Silicon Valley in Menlo Park, California. And really, that's a big part of our culture and of our DNA. We strive to be innovators in the industry in order to fulfill our mission of being a leading provider of drug delivery systems to the pharma industry, who are our end customers, although, as we all know, not our end users. I would say that importantly, collaboration is also in our DNA, and it's what helps us to have a much larger impact than the size of our company would otherwise let one think. And that's a big part of what we're doing today. So we're privately funded, and I will tell you more about that in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and transition the slide, Bill, so that you can tell us a bit about Phillips. Sorry.
Yeah, and Phillips-Medisize is the $1 billion healthcare manufacturing division of global electronics and connector company Molex. So Phillips-Medisize is a Molex company. We have focused capabilities on drug delivery, diagnostics, and med tech, with drug delivery the largest segment. And we have focused factories for drug delivery in North America, Europe, and Asia. Phillips-Medisize does serve both biopharma and platform customers such as Credence, and features an end-to-end solution from development to combination products manufacturing, 15 years of drug handling experience, and also offering connected health data solutions. And
Thanks,
John,
Bill. Yeah, we're having a little trouble. I'm not sure, Bree or Josh, the presentation seems to have changed. Not sure what's going on. Okay.
we're back.
All right, here we go. All right, thanks, guys. So moving on a little bit to the next slide, there is a little bit of a delay, so forgive me while we work through it. I'm hoping the screen will change eventually. Bree, are you able to help with this? Okay, seems to be working. So we've had some recent really exciting news for Credence that we've sent out in some press releases about a closing of a $40 million financing. And of course, the money is great because it's allowing us to fulfill our mission and scale our products, but probably greater are the quality of the strategic collaborators that we've been able to incorporate in that round. The first of which was Novartis. And, you know, they're just a fantastic and collaborative partner as investors in Credence. They've invested in us in order to express their interest and deliver on their interest of bringing their drug products onto our portfolio of delivery devices and to enable our scaling, which is a perfect segue into our second strategic investor, which is Molex, the parent of Phillips-Medisize. And that collaboration, as we'll talk about, is primarily focused on that scaling, but also on some other areas that we can talk to if time allows at the end of the presentation. So we're really excited about this and what it's enabling us to do to fulfill our mission that we talked about earlier. I'm going to talk a few slides here Just to give you a flavor for the technology, folks that have heard me speak for a while or we've worked together, hear us talk about innovation without change. And what that means is delivering important drug delivery systems, but reducing the burden on pharma to implement those systems. So we take a existing primary package, a pre-filled syringe, closure components like plunger stoppers and needle shields, and we turn that into a scalable system. A delivery system, either our companion or our dual chamber, that comes to pharma as they, or the fill finish suite as they are traditionally used to receiving it. This next slide here does a very nice job of pictorially showing the process. We, along with our partners at Phillips, the molding and assembly of our front end needle assembly and the rear end plunger rod assembly occurs, and then needle mounting or needle assembly mounting occurs on the barrel to be delivered to the fill finish suite in a nest and tub, pre-sterilized, ready for filling solution. And the result, at least as our companion system goes, is a drug delivery system that looks and feels like a conventional pre-filled syringe, but provides the user cues at the end of the stroke. The user feels and hears a click designating the end of dose and the needle safety, because the needle retracts seamlessly into the plunger rod, wherein it can no longer be used. So one more slide here that gives a little bit of a preview of our scaling strategy and what we're working very closely with Phillips on. Is we're starting with a clinical line. We'll have a production capacity of roughly 500,000 units per year, depending on mix. It's a very flexible line. We'll be able to do companion and dual chamber, various sizes, various flavors, glass and polymer. It will have human use output, so we'll be able to support stability studies and clinicals as our pipeline approaches those milestones. That will then transition to the high volume commercial line, capacity of roughly 50 million units per year, 50. And this is just an important first step towards that commercial line. So with that, I'll transition, Bill, back to you to tell us a little bit about the sites.
So as John indicated, the clinical line is going to our Letterkenny, Ireland site, established part of the Phillips-Medisize global manufacturing network. It's got a focus on mid-volume programs and is a natural site in the region to take on this clinical line due to its strength in injection molding, assembly, sharps handling expertise, and also clean room infrastructure for Class 7. The line does require Class 7, and our Letterkenny site has been running Class 7 clean rooms for decades.
Give me a second. There we go.
And then later, as we scale up, as John said, into the 50 million plus, this, on the other hand, will be going into the newest part of our manufacturing network, a new plant being built as we speak in Siemianowice, Poland. It's a purpose-built molding and assembly facility targeting high volume programs just like this. And we're building this plant in this region due to growing customer demand. And in addition to molding and assembly, drug handling is slated to be part of the capabilities here due to that customer demand for combination product manufacturing for finished products. And that this facility will be finished by about this time next year and have first customers running in Q2 of 2023. Very exciting time for Phillips-Medisize.
Yeah, and for Credence as well to go on that journey together. And we didn't have to prepare too much for this presentation because it's all very familiar content, and Bill and I know each other quite well. But he did have to prepare for the pronunciation of Siemanowice, which of course I did not. So well done, Will. Well done, Bill.
Thanks, John.
All right. A few other tidbits here. I'm going to try and wrap up in a minute or two because I want to leave any time for questions. But there is more to the collaboration, and it really speaks to the synergies between our two companies. So, of course, primarily our focus is on scaling companion and dual chamber. But other areas of potential collaboration include connected health, as well as an auto injector collaboration. So just a slide on each. So I've talked in the past about our Credence Connect, which brings connectivity or smarts to any syringe, pre-filled or otherwise. It's a finger flange, as we like to call it in the industry, or a grip that attaches to the syringe and can read the actual volume injected in real time and transfer that information to a phone and therefore subsequently to the cloud. We think it's got obviously important utility in clinical trial management and effectiveness and efficiency. Zymedica made a very interesting presentation on that earlier, but also on chronic care of management of chronic disease. So a very quick video just showing as the injection takes place, you'll see the injected volume incrementing in real time, stopping when the injection stops, continuing when the injection continues, and then the ability to designate a dose as successful or not successful based on pre-programmed parameters, and storing that information, dose delivered, time, date, and some other useful information. And Bill, maybe I'll invite you to just make a few comments on the synergy with Phillips there.
Yeah, Phillips-Medisize has long been in the connected space, even going back to some of our innovative breakthroughs, such as the Bear Beta Connect, the first FDA-approved system of its kind back in 2017. And Credence's approach to simple reusability overcomes a couple of very current and real barriers to connectivity. One, cost. The second, environmental sustainability. And our recent customer feedback, both US and Europe, reinforces that need, that both of them need to be addressed, and that again being the cost and the environmental sustainability of connected systems.
Yeah, and sustainability is a big topic for us. Our Credence companion syringe has a much lower weight, much lower footprint and use of plastics than other needle safety devices. So this resonates right through our portfolio. And finally, I see you just have a minute or so left, maybe transitioning to a collaboration on the auto injector of using the Phillips-Medisize platform of electronic connected auto injectors to be compatible with the Credence companion, either 1 ml long, 2 1/4, even dual chamber. And the advantages are pretty dramatic when you look at this synergy. The syringe with the plunger rod can be injected alone or inside of the device. So you're giving the user flexibility on an injection by injection basis. After the injection, with the needle safety, that syringe becomes very safe to remove from a reusable auto injector. So it really enables that reusability by avoiding a needle stick while removing the syringe. And then, of course, you've got the connectivity that we've been talking through that comes from the platform. So that's an exciting area of interest as we bring our devices to the market. So with that, I would say if there are questions, we're happy to take them. Otherwise, thank you, Bill, and thank you so much.